Hi everybody, here is Fabio and today we are talking about the Discipline Priest. The Discipline Priest has been the most difficult healer spec to play, and throughout the whole Legion it has been like, you like the challenge? I've got a spec here ready for you, check it out and see if you like it. But we're gonna see in this video what are the changes in the Alpha and Beta now, and what is the direction that Blizzard wants the Discipline Priest to take. So let's get started. As you can see, most of the information that I'm providing to you guys are coming from the Warhead website or from the How to Priest Discord community. So if you have any doubt, go there and check it out. It's an amazing source of information. Now here you see a post from the Blizzard development team where they are answering all of the feedback regarding the Power Word Shield spam issue, because if you don't know already, Plea has been removed and Power Word Shield takes the role of Plea. So Power Word Shield now doesn't have the cooldown at all. But in order to make it balanced, because otherwise we would go back to the Power Word Shield spam that we had in Warlords of Draenor, they nerfed the shit out of Power Word Shield. It is very weak now, and that is exactly what they are saying in this post. They are saying that don't worry, we are not gonna go back to the Warlords of Draenor spam fest that we had there, because now the Power Word Shield is quite weak, and in order to put out a decent HPS you will be needing your atonement mechanic. So be calm, be nice and quiet, because we know it and it's gonna be under control. Actually, I'm still a little bit concerned about that, because yes, when the big damage enters, you will not be able to keep spamming Power Word Shield, and that's good. But there are phases in the fight where there is little damage, and in those scenarios, the Discipline Priest will be the only healer capable of healing something, because in those cases they can keep spamming Power Word Shield, and the little damage that is going on is going to be 100% under control of the Discipline Priest, and the other healer can just DPS at all. They cannot do anything about it. This is still a little bit annoying in my opinion, that one healer has the control of the low damage phase, but it's not a huge deal, so let's move forward. They are saying that obviously the absorption capability of the Power Word Shield is limited to a cooldown, which is Rapture. Rapture now has its own cooldown reduced from 2 minutes to 1.5 minutes, and now what it does is it empowers Power Word Shield. The effect of Power Word Shield is 3 times more, basically, when there is the Rapture cooldown active. The other point that they want to make here is that the Discipline Priest will be a little bit less bursty. As you know, the Discipline Priest was the most bursty healer, absolutely the most bursty in Legion. One of the things that they are doing is that obviously the Discipline Priest is losing the artifact weapon, Last Wrath, and this is not replaced by anything. So losing that, it's a cooldown, it's an important cooldown that is lost and it's not replaced. Honestly, the Discipline Priest, don't worry, because in its core mechanic there is already some burst associated, because as you know there is the preparation phase where you spread out your atonement buff, and then when the damage enters you heal throughout your atonement. So that already is a burst. It's gonna be less bursty than what we had in Legion, but it's not like the Discipline Priest will not be bursty at all. I'm pretty sure that the Discipline Priest will keep some burst potential for sure, and that's very important. It's extremely valuable in a mythic raid progression environment. Let's move forward and let's see what are those changes telling me. I believe that the Blizzard development team is very well aware of the very high skill cap that the Discipline Priest has, and they don't like it. That's my feeling. They don't like it. Why? Because a motto of Blizzard is that a spec has to be easy to learn but hard to master, and currently the Discipline Priest is not easy enough to learn. So why I'm saying that these changes will affect this gap? Because when you're spamming shields, I mean, you're 100% sure that unless there is no damage, but that healing is yours. So that already will reduce a little bit the gap from the top-end Discipline Priest and the average Discipline Priest. The other reason is the burst nerf that Discipline Priest received, because managing a burst phase, a burst healing is quite tricky. It's not that easy. So if you're a hardcore Discipline Priest, you might be a little bit disappointed by this change. I am not actually, because I'm happy that a newcomer Discipline Priest will have a decent result playing this spec and will not be discouraged by very poor results at the beginning. So if you haven't tried the Discipline Priest because you thought that was too hard to manage, I mean, I think that Battle for Azeroth should be the right expansion for you to give it a try. I, for example, I'm planning on having my priest being my most geared alt. But enough chit-chat, and let's see what are the big changes that are going on with the Discipline Priest. The first important thing is that Mastery has been completely reworked. Previously, Mastery was just increasing the healing that you were doing with your Atonement. From the start, it's something that I don't like, because well, for many reasons, but one of the reasons is that toward the end of the expansion, your Mastery grows, and low damage is enough to put out a big healing, because your Mastery increases the healing that you do with your damage. So what happens is that at the beginning in Emerald Nightmare, the damage of a Discipline Priest was quite significant in percentage. And going toward Antorus, the healing of a Discipline Priest was absolutely fine. Top end was the best healer also in throughput, but the damage that they could put out was not very much impactful. So that fact alone was not nice to me, because the damage of a Discipline Priest should be somewhat relevant throughout the whole expansion. Now the new Mastery increases the damage of Penance, the absorption of Power Shield, and the healing of Shadow Man. It's much better, and basically every priest is happy about it. First of all, is more diversified what the Mastery can do, so it's likely that its value is gonna be good in any scenario. Especially it's gonna be better in Mythic Plus, because the old Mastery was not that great in Mythic Plus, because when you're in emergency, your increased healing through Atonement is not really what you're looking for in a parting size. But here, for example, the healing of Shadow Man is gonna be quite good in a Mythic Plus environment. So, thumbs up, new Mastery, very happy, let's go. Now here we have a couple of things that I don't think are gonna stay the same, because, for example, Body and Soul, now Power Shield has no cooldown, so this talent would be overpowered, I think, and I think that it's gonna be changed before it goes live. And same for Shield Discipline. Shield Discipline was already the best talent for mana gain, and overall the most taken talent in Legion, and now that there is no cooldown associated to Power or Shield, I think it's too powerful, so most likely it's gonna be changed. But the big stuff happens in row 75. We have a couple of new, well, the whole row is new, and it's very, very interesting. Lenience. Atonement reduces damage taken by 3%. This is a tool of incredible value in a Mythic Raid environment, especially in top-end progression, because when you're getting toward the end bosses of a tier, you have more and more mechanics that are getting close to one-shot you, especially if you don't have enough gear to face the content that you're getting into. And having a raid-wide damage reduction ability, even just a 3%, is huge. the value in order of utility of this talent is incredible. It's one of the most interesting tools that they have given to the Discipline Priest. Horizon, Power Word Shield instantly heals the target for 50% of spell power. Okay, this will come down to number. This talent might be interesting in Mythic Plus if the math is right. And we get to Contrition. When you heal with Penance, everyone with your atonement is healed for 20% of spell power. Now, unfortunately, this talent currently in the current state is too powerful. It's too good. I mean, we are talking about 10% HPS increase, and Lenience cannot keep up with the HPS increase of Contrition. So now we have two scenarios. If it goes live this way, this is the talent that everybody will be taking 100% of the time in a raid environment, for example. Unless you absolutely need the damage reduction of Lenience. And it's trade-off that actually it is interesting, because you want Lenience. I mean, it's a tool that it's incredibly valuable in a mythic progression, as I was saying, but you have to give up almost 10% of your healing, which I mean, somebody could be quite sad about it. I personally don't love it. I prefer to be rewarded for doing damage with Penance instead of being rewarded for healing somebody with Penance. Anyway, this gives you a reason for using Penance for healing, so it's gonna be good single target healing, but as you know, Penance has an important cooldown associated, so you cannot just rely on Penance in order to have good single target healing. So I don't know. In a Mythic Plus, it's not clear yet what's gonna be the right pick. Moving forward, Purge the Wicked is gonna stay the same. Divine Star and Halo are the same, and we all hope that Blizzard could find a way to make them relevant, because in the current state, Purge the Wicked is gonna be taken 100% of the time, and it's a little bit boring to have a talent that's gonna just stay there. I mean, it's fine, Purge the Wicked, but it's boring that you never change it. Instead, in row 100, we have another very, very nice addition. Replacing Power Infusion, we have Luminous Barrier. Create a shield on all allies within 40 yards, absorbing that amount of damage on each of them. So it's a shield, and it's raid wide, no matter how many people you have in your raid, and within 40 yards. And it replaces a barrier. So it's another very, very interesting tool, because it's an absorption raid wide on a 3 minutes cooldown. In a mythic progression, this could be mandatory in certain fight where you need to prevent some crazy damage mechanic that is going on. Again, here this talent is competing with Evangelism, that has been in raid by far the most throughput talent that we had throughout Legion. So when you're gonna take Luminous Barrier, probably Luminous Barrier is not gonna be a higher throughput than Evangelism, most likely. And so you're gonna take Luminous Barrier only if there is a fight with a mechanic that calls for it. But again, it's nice, it's important to have somebody that, if it is needed, can give up to some HPS, but provides these tools that in the end will save lives, and that what counts in a mythic progression. Talking about your burst potential, you still have Evangelism and you still have a Shadow Fiend. So this combo together is a decent burst of healing, and if you obviously pair it with your 2 stacks of Power Word Radiance, is gonna be a quite fair burst. Also considering that also the other healers like Shaman, like Holy Paladin, have their burst potential nerfed. Talking about talents build, let's see in Raid what you're gonna take. In Mythic you might take Twist of Fate, but let's go with Castigation, Angelic Feather, considering that Body and Soul most likely will be changed. Shield Discipline, waiting to see if it stays the same or not. Here it's gonna be or either Contrition or Lenience, but we are taking Contrition for the moment. Purge the Wicked and Evangelism most of the time. So these will be most likely your go-to build in a Mythic raid environment. Let's see for a second what could be in a Mythic Plus environment. Twist of Fate, Angelic Feather for the same reason that I was talking about before, Mindbender, Shining Force. Here I'm taking Contrition again in order to check out better Horizon, sorry about that. Purge the Wicked and Grace. Grace obviously is still very good in a Mythic Plus scenario. So in conclusion, what do I think of a Discipline Priest? I love it. I personally absolutely love many of these changes. I love the fact of being able to have all of these tools like Lenience, like Luminous Barrier, that I might not take them most of the fight because I don't need them and I wouldn't have to give up to too much HPS in order to take them. But if there are the conditions that will call for them, I have them, and they are gonna be extremely important for my raid. The same thing of Ancestral Protection Totem of a Shaman. You normally don't take it because it's HPS loss, but in a specific condition, it's the right choice. In general, Power Shield spam still a little bit concerns me in low damage phases. In general, Discipline Priest, I feel that it's gonna be a little bit easier, just a little bit, trust me, it's not gonna be dull by any means. I believe that Discipline Priest will remain the most challenging spec to play as a healer, but if you've always fancied to try out the Discipline Priest but you've never done it because you were a little bit scared of how difficult it could be, I mean, really give it a chance for Battle for Azeroth, because I think you're gonna enjoy it. Oh wow, last thing, because I forget it. If you are like me and you're thinking about replacing your Light's Wrath artifact ability with the racial ability of the Light Force Draenei, I'm sorry to tell you that, but in Battle for Azeroth will not be working with Atonement. If you're in live server, the racial ability of Light Force Draenei does work with Atonement, and it's OP, but it will not be the same in Battle for Azeroth. I'm sorry about that, but nope, doesn't work. So let me know what's your comment. Let me know if you're scared about the Power Shield spam, or if you're more scared of a little pruning that they are doing with the Discipline Priest. I feel that really, guys, we shouldn't be concerned, because Discipline Priest will still be a lot of fun. Just a little bit increase the result if you're new to the spec, and I don't see nothing bad with that. So thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Ciao.